Hello and welcome to Com Science Simplified. In today's video, we dig into TypeScript and explore some of the insecurities you have about learning it. Let's get started. If you are like me, chances are that you might have been putting off learning TypeScript for quite a long period of time now. But today is not a time for ignorance. Today is a time to embrace the fact that we need to keep our own judgments away and learn a technology that is up and coming, which might even dethrone JavaScript from its title of the most awesomest programming language ever. Now that you are considering it, you might ask, what is this TypeScript thing anyway? Cool, that's a good start. This is a sentence from the TypeScript official documentation page. There are three things to notice. It is built on top of JavaScript, which means all the features available in JS are by extension available on TS. And what it adds on top of JS is the static type definitions, which we will explore now. But you might ask, why is there even a need to get those static type definitions, as your life is awesome even without them? Well, in that case, let me remind you why JavaScript developers sometimes spend their nights crying alone in their room. Consider some code that looks like this. We are accessing a property called toLowerCase on message and then calling it as a function. We do not even know for sure if the message object has that property thanks to JavaScript's dynamic typing. We'll only get to know about it during runtime. But that is quite a gamble, isn't it? Not only are we expecting that there exists a toLowerCase property, we are also taking it to the next level and assuming that the property is of the type callable. In case that is not true, we are familiar with the type error that gets thrown at our face. With TypeScript in place, that would never happen. And that is where static type checking comes into the picture. With TypeScript in place, if we commit a similar mistake, like trying to call a string as a function, we'll get this sort of an error message even before we run our code. What TypeScript is telling us in the most humble manner is, bro, you said message was gonna be a string. Why are you trying to call it as a function? Have you lost it? While it's good to have someone question your important life decisions ruthlessly, that's just getting started with what TypeScript can do for you. Let's see what else is there in store. In JavaScript, several questionable behaviors do not throw any kind of exceptions, but just fail silently. For example, this piece of code. 10 shots down, you sit down to code and try to access a location property on an object that only has name and age. We've all been there. But to the JavaScript engine, this is not alarming at all. It is happy to return you an undefined instead of pointing out your inability to write bug-free code. TypeScript is different though. If we run the same piece of code through TypeScript compiler, it punches us right in the face trying to bring us back to our senses. It goes like, bro, what location property bro? Did you even look at your user object? Well, the examples that we looked at so far were all present in the same file, so it was obvious to the naked eye. But think in terms of a full-fledged project wherein objects are created, passed around, and used in different places. Once the scale starts to set in, the advantages of having a static type system go up exponentially. But we are not done yet. There is one more thing. TypeScript provides superpower to the developer in terms of tooling support. But before getting into that, let's sort out another matter at hand. I am a solo content creator and have noticed that many of you are watching my videos but not subscribing to the channel. Requesting you to please go ahead and subscribe right now if you are finding any value in this video. I have much more quality content planned around the corner. Back to our regularly scheduled program now. Working with a strict type system provides the compiler with all the information to help the developer while writing the code, which means that the type checker can provide us with error messages, code completion, as and when we type the code in the editor. In addition to simple things like code completion, TypeScript takes it a step further and provides quick fixes for errors and the ability to jump to the definition of a variable or list all of its references and all that good stuff. If you are convinced with all those arguments and now want to play around with TypeScript, there are a few ways to get started. You can install the TypeScript compiler by getting it from npm. Once that is done, we can write our TypeScript code in a file that ends with a .ts extension, something like hello.ts. Once done, compile the TypeScript file using the tsc command. This generates the JavaScript equivalent for that TypeScript. But if you are not looking at that level of commitment right now, there is an easier way. Head over to TypeScript Playground by visiting the link in the description section. Here, you will be able to write code, get code completion, compilation errors, and will also be able to execute the code and see the compiled JS file. That should be enough to get you started with your TypeScript journey. We will learn about integrating it into our code repositories and configuring it for real-world use cases in later videos. For now, I'll assume that I have been able to convince you to give TypeScript a try. Do follow me on Twitter to get daily code snippets and more. That's it for today's video. See you in the next one. Until then, keep rocking.